Hello and welcome to all the viewers. So this is the second video of our Hypermesh tutorials for a beginners video playlist. So in first video we discuss about a small introduction to alter engineering Hypermesh, as well as we discuss about a small introduction to various panels which are used to create a FEA model in Hypermesh. So from this video onwards, we will start the actual work in Hypermesh. So very first, as we know that from this menu pages, we will find the first panel is geometry panel. So under which you will find the different options are available. The first one is like nodes. So here in this video, we will going to discuss about how to create nodes with the help of these different options. And then next, we will discuss about the how to create temp nodes, distance, as well as points. Then you will find the similar videos in the next ongoing sessions like lines, how to create lines, furthermore, how to edit lines and length. So there are few more options are available in the geometry panel pages. You can see like how to create surface and furthermore the surface edit, then how to create a solid, and then furthermore you will find the how to create or how to edit the respective solids. And then there are few options like editing options which will be useful when you will going to do the mesh. So you should aware of all these options before starting actual meshing. Okay, then what we'll do, we will start our video with the options of how to create a different nodes with the help of various options. So here, as you know that the first option is when you move the cursor, you will find the XYZ symbol. So when you click on that, you will find there are systems like you can define the respective coordinates. If you are aware of that, then you can put the coordinates like I will going to put 50 somewhere 50, and then we can create a 50, so 555, and then you can create a click on the create option. So once you will create that, you will find the node is created at the respective coordinate system. So like that you can define if you have various coordinates, and at that respective coordinates you can create a node with the help of these options. Okay, now suppose if your model consists of a mesh, then in that case you can use that respective node as a creation of furthermore node. So I will explain that. Just do go mesh auto mesh. So just okay. So there are two components. The first component is geometry itself and the second one is middle surface. So I will going to explain this video for the second component, that is middle surface. So from here we can select by topology so that we can also see the mesh. Okay, so let's go further our node creation. So as we saw that we can create a node with the coordinates, as well as you can define, you can click on that so that your coordinates will going to change and you can create a node on that respective coordinates. Okay, similarly suppose if you want to create here, then you just need to click 3 times so that it can capture your respective node and it will create a node. Okay, like so likewise you can create a node, you can even create define respective as a node, you can define and then you can create a node. So that is all about your creation of node for the XYZ coordinates. Okay, then I will delete this elements further by face delete. We'll discuss that later on how to do the mesh. Then the next option is that you can move your cursor to the next option, so you will find the geometry. So here you can create a node on the geometry, and geometry in the sense that you can create a node on the point, you can create a node on line, surface and plane. So let's discuss about the points. So by default you will have some points in your geometry. So in order to see that, you just need to keep that fix option on. So once you will keep on, then you will find there are different points are there. So you can create respective nodes on these points. If you select this, create, then you will find the nodes are created. Similarly, if you click on that, okay, so you will find the nodes are created, right? Just click further here, create. Now next option is that create on the lines. So like similarly you can select the lines and you can create on the respective lines, you can create the nodes. So here there is something that you need to look into that. So once you will create on that, you can either select by display or by window. So these are the options to select the lines. Okay, so like now we can click on that, and once you will find that your line is selected, then you can click the respective nodes where you want your node to be created. Okay, similarly I will repeat one more time, like you can select the line. If you want to create somewhere random nodes, you can create. Okay, so this is all about our creation of nodes on the lines. Similarly we will repeat for the surface. So here also you have different options to select the surfaces, and you can select like manually also. Once you will find that your surface is selected, then you need to just click on that and you can select the respective nodes on your geometry. Okay, now furthermore, if you want me to select this middle surface, I will just select that and I can create a central node. Okay, so like that, if you want, you can create a various nodes. So that is all about your nodes creation on the surfaces. Now the next option is that plane creation. So here also you can create a node on the respective plane surfaces. So let's talk about somewhere like we can select here, as we have three different nodes. So here either you can define by x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, or you can define by three coordinates like n1, n2 and n3. So here like I will define the plane by three nodes. The first one is here, the second one is here, and the third one will be here. And you can define the your base point here and you can create. So likewise you can create, see here, now the plane is selected and on that respective plane I am creating the nodes. So as you know that there are different nodes are created, let's move further here and we can discuss and the another surface somewhere here on the inclined portion, or we can create somewhere here. So let do one thing on these respective portions, right? So here you can define the first node, you can define the second node, and you can define the third node. This is what your base point, and you can create now nodes on this. See, once your plane is selected, then you can create a node on that respective plane. So similarly, if you define x-axis, so now you will find this x-axis in this direction. So if you want to select this base point, now you can select the plane nodes on that respective axes. So this is as simple as that. Now let's see here z axis, which will be more visible. So here you can define, select z axis and you can define the node and create. Now you will find that you have selected the plane, and on that respective plane you are creating the respective nodes. Okay, so likewise you can select the plane by various axes. You can select the plane by n1, n2, 3, and on that respective plane you can create the nodes. Then the next option we will see that this the arc center. Okay, so when you click on the arc center, you will find you can define the arc by nodes, by lines, or by points. So let's discuss about by nodes. So for that, here we don't have arc center. So what we can do now, let's go to the first option, and here we can select the points, and here we have different points. So here we can select the create a node. Similarly we can select the lines, and here we can create a node. Now let's move further to the next option, that is arc center. So here we have three nodes now, and on this you can create a central node. Okay, so I will keep reject. Similarly, you can define by lines. So here we have a lines, so create. So you will find that by default it will create a center point. So similarly, if you have 3 points, like so somewhere you can create a point here and then you can create a central node. Okay, so here also you can define a tolerance if you have. Then as we know that we can create a respective node at the center of arc by using points, by lines and by node option. Now the next option is you will find when you move the cursor like parametric. So here there are two options to create the parametric node. So let's discuss about that. So first one here, if you click on that and you will, once you have defined the lower bound and upper bound, so you can here put the number of elements where you want to define. Like I will put, delete this, and we can put two elements. So you just click on that, you will find the the two nodes are created. So you can reject that. You can further increase the value like 5, create. So now you can see that the respective 5 nodes are created on the selected line. Similarly, if you want to select this line, you can find create a 5 nodes. Okay, then reject. Then the next option is that surface option is there also. So for that, what we can do, let's select the surface now. Click on this, and on the surface you will have the similar options. What else, like line, the number of nodes, u nodes, and number of v nodes. So basically here when you select the surface, you will have the options like I will put 5 now, so that create. So now you can see that what it does. So it created a nodes on the respective surfaces on horizontal as well as vertical axis. So if you reject that, you can define here on horizontal axis 2 nodes. So reject, sorry, on vertical axis. So let's put here a 5 further, and let's change this 2 and the create. Now you can see here in the respective horizontal axis, like that is the number of nodes, you will find the 2 nodes, while the vertical axis, vertical in the sense like this, in our surface on y axis you will find the 5. Similarly, if you want here 6, and here if you want 3, then you can see the differences. Okay, so likewise you can create respective nodes on your respective surfaces with the help of parametric options. Now there are different nodes are created. So let's go further. The other option is that, so here when you move your cursor, so you will find that interpolate on a surfaces. So basically here we can create a nodes with the help of some interpolations options. So in order, so like right now there are different nodes are created. So if you go to tab node, you can select all the nodes and you can clear that nodes. So you will find that nodes are now removed. So let's go further on nodes. So in order to explain these options, so we can create few nodes somewhere here on the lines 1, 2. Similarly, we can create on the surface somewhere here. Sorry, select the surface, and somewhere you can create a nodes. Okay, now let's go to our next option, that is interpolate. So the first one here, you can define the respective node leads. So let's define the 2 nodes, and if you want somewhere like 3 nodes in between this, then you can use this option in order to create an interpolate. So now let's click on the create. Okay, once you will click on the create, you will find that the respective 3 nodes are created. So there are biasing option is also available. As you know that this is basically used when we have a different mesh. So there are 3 options like exponential, bell curve and linear. So this linear and exponential are more or less similar. So let's click on that and here put some values too. Then you can see, click on the create. So you will find some biasing, reject that. I will put higher value so that you will find the differences. Create. So you can see the biasing from one side like here. So this is recommended when we have a mesh and don't want we want similar finer mesh nearby junction. So at that time we can define this biasing. Okay, so what I will do, I will clear these nodes and we will go further. We will create further more nodes on the lines. Just select this line, select the line, and somewhere here you can, on the line you can create somewhere here, further here. So like we have more distance now. Now let's go to our topic further. Now here, as we discussing about the nodes creation by with the help of different options, now exponential it will create, you can see the difference. Now when you want two-side biasing, so in that case you can use the third option, that is bell curve create. So when you use bell curve, you will find both side biasing will be created. So reject that. Let's put here 10 nodes and create. Reject. Here you can put 5 and here you can create 10 nodes. Create. So now you can see here the biasing nearby these nodes are created. Let's put here 5. Create. Okay. So now we can see this biasing here, and when you use linear or bell curve, you will find the biasing on one side. So that is all about our nodes within the node list. Now we can use the next option, that is interpolate of line. So when you use this option, so you can find that, so let's unselect this, let's go here, select surface. Okay, so now we are discussing about line and node list. So here you can define the line, and let's talk about this line, and you can define the node list. So here I am defining this two node list, and what I will do, I will just keep this linear. Okay, and here when you will going to create a two nodes, let's see, when you will click on the create. Okay, so what it does, that it already created a nodes in between these two nodes, and it also projected on this respective line. So you can reject that. If you want to change this line, you can select this line and you can create. So now you can find that thus respective nodes are also created, that is 5. In addition to that, it is also projected on the line. Okay, now the next option is that is as similar to this surfaces. So you can even similarly create on the respective surfaces. Now let's select the surface over here and let's define the nodes which are away from the surface. When you will create, it will find that it will going to project on the respective surfaces. So let's change the surface. I will select this surface and let's create. So you will find that these nodes which are away from the surfaces, we have projected on the our respective selected surfaces. In addition to that, we also create a respective 5 nodes. Okay, so the basic difference in between these interpolate options create the nodes between the respective selected nodes. So like if you are selecting these two nodes, you can create. Similarly, the next option is that you can interpolate on the line. So you can select these two nodes. Let's select for the these two nodes, select the line and create. So you will find the interpolation is on the line. Similarly, you will find the third option, that is interpolate on a surface. So basically it will interpolate on a respective surface with the help of two offsetted nodes. Okay, now the next thing is that the next option, that is intersect. So when you click on the intersect, you will find that you can create a lines when at the intersect of. So let's click here, let's click on this and you will create a respective node on the intersect. Similarly, here you can define by respective vector. Similarly, you can define here by respective surfaces. So if you find that, let's put line surface. So I will select this line, I will select this surface and create. Okay, we will select this surface, create. So you will find that the respective nodes are created. Okay, so basically it is as simple as that. It will create at the intersection of lines or line surfaces, line solids, or whatever the line planes are there. Okay, so that is all about your node creations. So you can create a node by different, there are different options as we discussed. By the first option is like xyz locations. The next option you can create on point, line, surface. Then you can create on the center. You can use these parametric options, and then you can create on the respective line by using interpolation, and also you can create at the intersection of the surfaces. Okay, so once your nodes are created, you can even go to temp nodes. So if you want to clear that, you can use these clearer options. And suppose if you want to create a temporary node, so you just create a temporary node somewhere here, you just select that and you can add. And if you want to clear that, just click on this clear. Okay, select this clear. Now similarly, if you want to create a temporary node on this respective lines, you can create. And if you want later on you want to remove, you can simply clear all that. This is all about our temp node. Now the next option is that node edit. We will discuss this once we will go through the mesh, how to create a mesh options, and then we'll discuss this later on. Now the next option is like distance. So here you can measure the distance between two nodes, three nodes, 2 points and 3 points option. So for that, what we need, we will need a two nodes. So what we can do now, we can create a node furthermore. So we can create a node on the surfaces somewhere here. We can create a node somewhere on the lines here, here. Okay. Now let's go further and let's create furthermore node on a points. So I will create on these points. So this I want to create just to explain a distance option. So when you click on the distance, you will find we need to select the 2 points, and you will find the respective distance between these 2 points, as well as it will display the distance between x, y, z options. And now if you want to create a node between these 2 points, you just need to click on that and you can create a node between these 2 points. Okay, now we can see here. Similarly, three nodes, if you have three nodes like 1, 2 and 3, you will find that it will going to display the respective distances as well as angle as well as radius. And if you want to create a node between, you will find the nodes between the two nodes. Now similarly, when you see the 2 points, like at present we have 2 points somewhere here, 1. So click on this first point, click on the second point. Now you can find that the distance between the 2 points, as well as if you want to create a point between these two, so you just simply click on that, reject that. It is as similar to that. You can furthermore select the 3 points. The first one is selected, second one is selected, and the third one we can select somewhere here. Okay, now it will display the respective distances, angles and radiuses. And if you want to create a circle center also, you can create a circle center with that options. So like here I will select first point, second point, and somewhere we can select third point somewhere here, right? And if you click on the circle center, you will find the circle center with this option. Okay, now it is the next option is that point creation. So as we discussed, like in nodes we can create a nodes on xyz. So similarly you can create an points with the help of this xyz options. Next one, you can similarly create the at the respective arc center, and the next one you will also find that as similar to that. If you move here parametric option, you can clear points with the same option what we discussed for the node creations. And let's discuss somewhere, I will further explain here. Now if you want to create 5 points, you can create a 5 points between this respective line, parametric. Okay, similarly if you want to create on the surface, you just need to select the surface and you can create a respective points. Let's go here. Furthermore, you can define here 5, you can define here 2, and you can create. Now you can see here that we have created respective points, that is 5 in horizontal axis and 2 in vertical axis. If you want to reverse, 2 here, 5 here, create. For that you need to select the surface and create. Now you can see that your respective points are created. And the last option, as we discussed, you can create a point at the intersection. So let's select this first line, select the another line and create. So you will find that node is already there, so the node is created. So that is all about your nodes, temp node creation, distance measurement between nodes and points points creation. Okay, so this is the end of this present video. In next video we'll discuss about the remaining options within the geometry panel. So thank you guys.